So displacement or distance is because of the motion of an object. So how is the graph of that object? Means the displacement varies with time. When the displacement is plotted with respect to time, then how is that plot? Means at different time, what are the different positions? From that we will calculate, or even we had calculated the displacement. When the body is in motion, when body is in motion, it means it has some speed or it may have the velocity. Then we can have the velocity time graph. Another thing, if the speed itself is the varying or velocity itself is the changing, then there is acceleration. So therefore we have acceleration versus time AT, or acceleration versus time graph. So these are the three kinds of graph that is being drawn for an object. We have already learned about this thing in much more detail, how to plot, how to draw the graph, and from the graph how we can calculate the other quantity. A student, for summarizing it, the very first type of graph that we have learned was our displacement time graph. A student, so this displacement time graph we have already covered. What is this displacement time graph? What is the importance? Those things we are going to.
Good evening, sir.
Here. A student, here the displacement is obtained from the position. So this position is plotted along the vertical axis, and time is always plotted along the horizontal axis. The position at your level, it is only the long x-axis. So different values of x is plotted along the vertical axis. This point is our origin. So if the object is at rest, means x will not vary. If we consider the object initially at origin, from where the position is measured, and if this is vary, means position is increasing with respect to time. In this direction, when the time is increasing, the position x is also increasing. So it is for object in motion. Other, it need not be a straight line. It may be your some curved line, like this one. This is also possible. It need not be upward, it may be your downward also, like it may be like this one. What are the differences that you will learn later? It may be possible that the object is at certain initial distance. In that case, the graph starts from certain point on the vertical axis. If this is the origin, this is the initial position of the object. If we denote this initial position say 2 meter, the general denotation that 2 meter, let us take that as x0. Like x1, x2 are the various position we are denoting. So it is x0 on this y-axis or vertical axis. Position is plotted. It may be possible that this position is going to decrease, means when the object is going to come closer to the observer. So in this case, the graph will be like this. Okay. So these are the various possibilities that we have learned. It may be possible that a straight line starting from certain position x0, it may be possible that the position is going to decrease. This is our origin, this is our here x0. X0 means it is this much length, student, it is this one. So these are the various graphs. What we are observing, when the object is in motion, then xt graph or position time or displacement time graph is always a line, maybe a straight line or curved line, but it will not be parallel to time axis. We have also learned this. First is for the uniform motion. These B and C are for the non-uniform motion. These were the various graphs we have plotted. A student, we have also learned that for the from this position time graph or distance time graph, speed can be calculated. Why? Because the speed or velocity is given by distance by time. So if we take the slope of this curve, it gives us the speed. So right, speed or velocity, this velocity is without changing direction. That is important. Is calculated by taking the slope of xt graph. A student, x is plotted along the y-axis, means along the vertical axis, and time is along the horizontal axis. So this is the significance of a position time or displacement time graph, that from the displacement time graph speed can be calculated. Okay, so this is the basically significance of this displacement time or position time graph. How this is calculated? A student, if I consider this one that we have learned, we want to calculate the speed from 0 to t1, then we have to take this as x1, then this change, this delta x, or this is equal to x1, this is our delta t, this is here our t1. So this way, by taking the ratio of these two, we are getting this slope. So this m is given by delta x by delta t. Here I have taken initial position, I mean initial point as origin. So that's why it is like this one. It may be possible that between the any two interval you have to calculate the velocity from the position time graph. So this is our t1, this is our t2, and you have to calculate the velocity in this interval t1 to t2. At that time, you have to take care of the time interval. What is that time interval? This time interval, this gap you have to calculate. The t1 is larger time, t1 is a smaller time. So interval or the time between t1 to t2 is denoted by delta t. It is given by t2 minus t1. And what is the position difference? So this is our x1 at t1 and it is our x2 at t2. So a student, this position difference means the displacement can be calculated by taking only this as delta x. So this delta x denoted here as delta x, and this is given by x2 minus x1. So in this case, the slope is this one. A student, this will represent the slope m. So this will be the triangle form. So slope of this hypotenuse, that is that will give us the velocity. So it is basically x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. So this is equals to our speed, or better word is velocity, but it is without changing direction. So this is the significance. This we have already learned. So in displacement time graph, you have to keep in mind, from displacement time graph we can calculate speed and velocity. That is one thing. So right here itself it gives speed or velocity. How this is calculated? This speed or velocity is calculated by taking slope. By slope. So a particular time interval will be given. For that, what is change in position? Means x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. That will give us the slope. That slope itself is the velocity or speed. So whatever m I have denoted here, this m is called as the slope of this graph. Slope means what? If there is anything inclined, any sliding or inclination, then what is the ratio of its vertical end to the horizontal end? Okay, it is this one. So this is your, how is the slope? So slope is basically given by this angle, tangent of this angle, or sometimes this is also written as tan of theta. More detail you will learn in higher study. Student, so you have to just keep in mind the significance of displacement time graph is to calculate the velocity. It is calculated by taking the slope. The slope is nothing but it is a ratio of vertical axis change to horizontal axis change. That is important. So it was one thing. This we have already finished. Now let us go for the second. The second graph that we had drawn was our velocity time graph or speed time graph. A student, here velocity at your level means speed in only one direction. Means when the object is moving with some speed without changing direction. So a student, here we have log, here we are plotting V versus T, means speed versus time. It is this one. So this V is plotted on vertical axis and T on the horizontal axis. Time is always on the horizontal axis. So what makes difference? The difference is that in this case on vertical axis, the velocity V is plotted. Okay, that makes difference. From this graph, we can calculate two quantity. What was that? The very first that we can calculate is from velocity we can calculate or we can know the acceleration. So therefore from this graph we can also calculate the acceleration. Acceleration of body is given by the slope, like the slope of distance time graph gives the velocity, the slope of velocity time graph gives the acceleration. Okay, student? So it is the slope of velocity time graph. This you have to keep in mind. Let us once again compare with the previous one. A student, here we were writing this slope. This slope is of xt graph. So a student, if for this xt graph taking this slope, the method of calculating slope remains the same. What is change in your vertical axis? by what is change in your horizontal axis. That ratio you have to take. So slope for distance time graph gives us speed, but slope of speed time graph gives us acceleration. Okay, so it is one thing. The next thing is, by knowing the velocity and time, we can calculate the displacement or distance. How? Distance or displacement is given by taking the multiplication of speed with time. Okay, or multiplication of velocity with time. So ultimately, that displacement is calculated by taking the area. These two multiplication, velocity into time, that will give us the area. That is given by area of VT graph. It is with respect to time axis. With time axis. This thing we have to keep in mind. Means what? What is the first one? The first one is that if I have the plot of any object in motion, then the point from where it is going to start, this is called initial velocity. If I am interested up to the time t, or say t1, this is the time t. So this time t, the object have reached the velocity v. Then what is the acceleration? Acceleration is calculated by taking this slope. And what is the displacement? Displacement is calculated by taking the area. Means this dotted entire area. How is this? Okay. So this area, means shaded portion, gives us the displacement. How to calculate the displacement? Means we have to calculate the area. And that we have also learned. This trapezium area can be calculated by adding the area of rectangle and area of triangle. But what is the slope of this line? Slope calculation same as for the xt graph. So this is again given by m. And this m is again calculated by taking only this much length. This will be delta v. Here in this case it is v minus u basically. And this is your delta t. Here to here. This delta t may be t2 minus t1. And here in this case it is t minus 0. So it is t itself. Okay. So displacement is basically the entire area. But the slope means we have to take the slanted line.
Sir, can you explain xt graph?
XT graph I had explained. No, Valino, you have, I think you are asking, you have joined a bit late. And I had already in previous classes for nearly 1.5 hours we have discussed. Okay, let me once again explain it. A student, today we have started with this thing. So graph of an object in motion. Motion means we have the position change, we have the speed associated with that object, and maybe the acceleration also. Acceleration may or may not be, because even if the body have uniform speed, acceleration may be 0, or if the speed is varying, then acceleration can be calculated by taking the change in speed by the time interval in which this change in speed is taking place. So these are the three quantities which are associated with an object in motion. Therefore, we can plot these quantities. Plot with respect to whom? Since these quantities are always calculated with respect to time, means all this quantity we have to plot with respect to time only. Therefore, I can have displacement time graph, I can have velocity time graph, I can have acceleration time graph. So if the different positions or displacement are given, in that case, I can plot those points and I can draw this line. I mean, what is this one? This. So this way, the graph is plotted. And if the graph is given, then the velocity can be calculated. How to calculate velocity? Velocity is always calculated in certain interval of time. So we have to take certain interval of time. So whatever the plot you are taking, whether this or curved or not curved, okay. So for that you have to take a time interval. Say even if I am taking for this one, I am interested to calculate the slope in this interval, say t1 to t2. Okay, so in this case, what is the time interval? I have taken the first case A for the third type where the slope is downward. So the time interval delta t is calculated by t2 minus t1. But what is the change in vertical axis? A student, if you are observing carefully, then you are observing that in this case, the change in vertical axis is not upward, rather it is our downward. So this way it gives the delta t. But if I observe it carefully, then we can see that this at t1 the position is, let me call this position as x1, and at t2 the position have changed to x2. Students, what was the initial position at 0? That was x0. But at t1 this position is your x1. But at t2 going to the point means vertically up, then moving left, you are getting that it is our x2. So here x2 is below x1. Still we have this change in position, though it will be negative. So what is this delta x? In this case, the delta x is calculated by the same formula, x2 minus x1. But since x2 is smaller than x1, it means it will be negative. Means this change will be negative. Negative itself indicates that the speed is going to decrease. Okay? Means decreasing speed. But calculation remains unchanged. How? The slope is again calculated by the same formula. Slope is given by, observe here, the standard formula is slope. Means the vertical axis change by horizontal axis change. Vertical axis change is our delta x. Horizontal axis change is our delta t. So it is given by delta x by delta t. That is written here. This is the standard formula for this slope. Student, this is the standard formula for this slope. In this formula, even if I am going to substitute this, means x2 minus x1, t2 minus t1. Now this change in position gives the displacement. Change in time is the time interval. So it is the rate of change of displacement. That rate of change of displacement gives us what? The velocity. If this displacement in only one direction means no direction change, then it become like a speed. So it also gives the speed. But when it become speed and when become velocity is beyond your scope, because direction change consideration is always analyzed with respect to vector analysis. So applying the vector algebra, but vector algebra in more detail is not belonging to your class. So that's why roughly at your level it will be simply speed or velocity. Velocity means you have to take care that it is speed in only one direction. So this way, considering this slope, we are getting the rate of change of displacement. So it ultimately gives what? The velocity. So this is the significance of displacement time or position time graph, that the slope of position time or displacement time graph gives the velocity. So this way, this speed or velocity is calculated by taking the slope. So this was the important observation or the key point. How to calculate that we have already learned. Now this graph need not always be a straight line starting from the origin. It may be a straight line or a slanted line or an inclined line, inclining upward starting from certain position x0. It may be downward starting from x0, as in case 2 and 3 for A, it is done. It may be a curved line the curve is going upward as it is drawn in the first part of our V. In second part, we are getting that the curve is not continuously rising, but later on it is even going downward. I mean, the further increase in position is reduced. It may be possible that this curved line or the curved plot is not starting from the origin, but rather it is starting from certain position x0. So this is plotted in part C. So it is again of the two. I mean, this first and second. If you wish, you may write for the part A, we had this was the first, this was the second, and this was the third. So these are the various types of graph. So student, all these graphs are representing the object in motion. We have also learned if the plot is like this one, may say this is x and this is t, and the plot is a line parallel to time axis, then in this case the speed is 0 because position is not changing while the t is varying. Or even if it is a line over the time axis itself, means horizontal line over the time axis itself, then it is also object not in motion. So in this case, V is your 0. Though x0 is there, but here even no x0. So these are for the object in rest. So this was basically D. It was for rest. So these are for rest. How is this graph look like? We have already discussed earlier. So no more analysis, but the point that we have to keep in mind is the calculating the slope of xt graph, we can calculate the velocity. Now, if we come to velocity time graph, in place of x, we have to replace this v. V is plotted along vertical axis, t along the time axis or horizontal axis. Now, here two things can be calculated. One is the slope of this line, the plot, another area of the plot with this time axis. The area gives the displacement and the slope m gives acceleration. So these are the two things. This m, how this m is calculated? M is calculated by taking the ratio delta v by delta t. Okay, it is like this. So this way the significance of velocity time graph is that from this we can calculate the acceleration, we can calculate the displacement. A student, we have also learned that if the plot is like this one, this is velocity, this is time, it is this one. What does it mean? It means object is moving with a constant velocity, maybe u or maybe v0 itself. Means the object is in motion. In this case, object is in motion because it is the velocity itself it is representing. Means object always have this velocity v0. So therefore, this is uniform speed or uniform motion or speed. If we are plotting like this, velocity and time. A student, what is plotted on y and what is plotted on x, means what is on the vertical axis and what is on the horizontal axis, that you have to keep in mind. After that only you can take. In this case, you are observing that at 0 second, the velocity is 0, means object is starting from rest. And speed is continuously increasing. At this time, you are getting the velocity is up to this much. But coming to this time, you are getting that the velocity have increased up to this much. Okay. So this, if I am taking V2, this has V1. So V2 have is greater than V1. So it is what? Speed is increasing. But that increase in speed is fixed. I mean, in equal interval of time, there is equal increase in speed. So therefore, it will gives us for the uniform acceleration. So right here, speed increasing. When speed is increasing, this implies it is the uniform acceleration. It is this one. So it is the condition of uniform acceleration. In this case, since the speed is not changing, means delta V is 0, this implies acceleration is 0. Student, the third possibility is that this speed is increasing but not uniform. If I consider like this, here you are getting that initially the object starts from origin or from the rest. Initially, if you observe it, from this time interval, the increase in speed is very small, only this one. But if I am taking the time interval from here to here, I mean the same time interval length, what was here? The same time interval length, if I am taking, now the speed means on the vertical axis, we are getting that this is quite large. Okay. So in this case, speed change is not fixed. So delta V is not equal in equal interval of time, delta T. Means what? This is not of uniform acceleration. So not a fixed acceleration. That is, acceleration itself is going to be different. Means at different time there will be different acceleration. If you calculate from this time interval, acceleration will be something a1, and in this time interval the acceleration will be something a2. Then here a1 is not equals to a2. But in this case, I mean in the case B, whatever we have taken, if we take the time interval, a small time interval, and the same smaller time interval here, you are observing whatever this V, I mean increase in V, the same increase in V will also be here. The same amount of delta V is here, whatever delta V is here. So therefore, in this case, delta V is fixed. So therefore, acceleration have a constant value. Means that will give some real number, 2 meter per second square, 5 meter per second square, means it is always a constant. But in this case, this acceleration A is varying or changing. So A cannot be constant. At different time interval, it will be different. So therefore, this is the graph of non-uniform acceleration that we have to keep in mind. Because the speed itself is varying, I mean the change in speed itself is varying, so acceleration is changing. So this implies it is called as, when the quantity is not fixed, it is called non-uniform. So therefore it is the condition of non-uniform acceleration. But if that quantity is constant, means fixed value, that is called as uniform acceleration. So this was the condition for, I mean B was the condition for uniform acceleration. So student, whether it is asked which of the graph is for uniform acceleration, non-uniform acceleration, you can tell it varies. So these were the things that we have to keep in mind regarding acceleration. So how to calculate acceleration? Acceleration just by taking the slope. A student, if I am just taking a graph Vt where the object is starting from this and going like this. I am interested in the interval t1. T1 is what? Some point on the time axis, and I am observing this up to the interval t2. So this will give us the delta t. A student, keep in mind this t1 must have some value like 10 seconds and t2 must have some values at 12 seconds. It is like that. Moving vertically where the graph is touching, then from that point you have to again move horizontally. Whatever this point, it is given by the initial velocity or the velocity at this time t1. Let us call this as v1, and velocity at this time t2, let us call this as v2. A student, in this case we have to keep in mind the velocity at 0 time is called as the initial velocity or initial speed. So this point denotes us u, means initial speed. Now we are interested to calculate the distance covered in the interval of t1 and t2 and distance and acceleration during this interval of t1 to t2. Okay, then we always have to focus over this time interval. For this time interval you have to calculate this slope, means whatever this delta t is there, whatever the change in velocity, that you will calculate. This delta v you will calculate. Then for acceleration between the time interval t1 to t2 denoted by m, it is given by change in vertical axis, means change in velocity axis, by change in horizontal axis, means change in time. Okay student, it is like our v2 minus v1 by t2 minus t1. Okay,
Acceleration.
yes, this gives us the acceleration. In short form this is denoted, I mean this slope is denoted by m. A student, so this way the acceleration is calculated. Another thing is, in between this time interval t1 to t2 you need to calculate the displacement. So displacement, again between t1 to t2, a student, you have to take care, we have to calculate what? Area between the plot, this plot means the line, and time axis. A student, plot is what? Plot means the line that we have drawn, means it is this line that we have drawn. I am drawing in red ink. So this is the plot, and what is the time axis? Time axis is here. So from here to here, what will be the area? For that you have to take care, whatever the vertical line we have drawn from t1 and at t2, that will act as the boundary. Okay, and in between these boundaries, what are the area enclosed? A student, the area enclosed is like this one. I am hatching it, okay, with the dotted line. Okay students, so this area we have to calculate. So this here we have to take. A student, how to calculate? It again become a trapezium where this lower portion is acting as one of the rectangle and the upper portion is acting as one of the triangle. Okay, so these things you have to keep in mind, student. So our lesson learned is that for calculating this, you always divide the given area between the interval into area of rectangle plus area of triangle. These two things we have to take. So triangle I have written in the symbol form. Okay, So these two area collectively means adding these two area, we will get this shaded area that will give us the displacement. So applying this concept, we can derive the formula S equals to ut plus half ATA square. So this is called kinetic equation. This we are going to learn today. Whatever I have revised is to make you easily understand that how to derive this S equals to ut plus half ATA. Okay, student, that we will learn. Now, if I go for the third, say acceleration time graph. Student, the third one is our acceleration time graph. So in this case, we are going to plot this acceleration A along the vertical axis and the time t along the horizontal axis. So this A on the vertical axis means y-axis, this is along the horizontal axis. Students, like earlier plot, if we are given with different acceleration value and we can plot it in this plane where this vertical axis represent the acceleration and this horizontal axis represent the time. This will be the origin. Different values of A are plotted along the y-axis or this horizontal axis, and different times are plotted along this horizontal axis. Okay, by that way, joining the different point, we will get the curve or the plot. It may be possible that the plot itself is like this one. What this indicate? A student, you have to understand this carefully. A student, it is representing some value of acceleration. Must have, say I am writing this is our 5 meter per second square. Means here acceleration is 5 meter per second square. When acceleration is possible? Acceleration is possible only if there is change in speed or change in velocity. A student, when this change is possible, means the object is in motion. So a student, even the AT graph is like this one, it indicates the motion of object with constant acceleration. Constant acceleration. What is this constant acceleration here? Here it is our 5 meter per second square here. If something different is given, then that may also be taken. In general term, it may be taken as A itself or A0 itself, means initial acceleration. It may be possible that acceleration itself is increasing. So that is the non-uniform acceleration. So this is like your uniform acceleration. Form acceleration means acceleration have a fixed value. If the acceleration itself is changing, then maybe initially the acceleration be 0, or it may be possible that initially there is certain acceleration and acceleration itself is changing, or may be possible that initial acceleration is further going to reduce. So all these are acceleration versus time graph. A student, in this case, acceleration is varying. Varying means changing. First case, acceleration is increasing. And initial acceleration was what? 0. In this case, acceleration is increasing. But initial acceleration was which value? A0. In this case, the initial acceleration was A0, whatever this value. But this acceleration is what? It is decreasing because at t equals to 0, it has this a0 value. If you move ahead on the horizontal axis, you are getting that you will reach to certain other point which have lesser value of acceleration. So acceleration is your decreasing. Okay, so these are the three situations for the acceleration. Now, what is the significance of this acceleration? A student, at your level, it is only this first case that we have to learn. This for the uniform acceleration. For this uniform acceleration, we have three kinetic equation called V is equals to U plus AT, S equals to UT plus half AT square, and V square is equals to U square plus 2AS. These three equations are applicable for this first case, means uniform acceleration only. A student, in B, this kinetic equation, I mean these three equations that we have written, it is not applicable. Then the three kinetic equations not applicable. It is one thing that we have to keep in mind. Whatever the three kinetic equations that I have written in the box, those kinetic equations are not applicable. A student, what is the significance of this acceleration time graph? So that is important. A student, so this acceleration time graph, so if we take the acceleration time graph, then from the graph we can calculate two things, either some area between the time axis and that plot, or the slope. These are the two things that is always calculated for the graph. So acceleration time graph gives, it can give velocity. How? That you are already knowing. Since acceleration is equals to delta V by delta T, it means delta V can be calculated by multiplying area, this acceleration, with delta T. Therefore, if we have this plot, on horizontal axis time is there, on vertical axis the acceleration is there. So A, we just consider this value of A, sorry, this is the horizontal axis. So on this horizontal axis we have plotted the T. So this is the time of observation. So if we just take only one plot in this time, means starting from 0 to T, this value gives us the delta T. And whatever this vertical, so this was the acceleration value. So this is given by A or delta A. So it is delta A or simply A. Now multiplying these two, it is like a rectangle whose one of the side is represented by A and other side is represented by this delta T. So the area will give what? A quantity, and that area is calculated by multiplying this A with delta T. A is here acceleration. This is our acceleration. You have to keep in mind. And this is our time interval. A student, if we compare this one, means what is from this formula. So this is from formula. Means when the formula is rearranged, we are getting delta V is given by A delta T. This is given by mathematical geometry. Means this is from geometry. Means what is this multiplication represent? It is from this geometry. From geometry we have learned that area or mensuration, basically area is calculated by multiplying the two sides. If we compare, it means what? We can say this A delta T is same on both the equation. It means Delta V is calculated by taking the area under which one? VT, AT plot or AT curve with time axis. So this was what the observation or the significance. So this area, if you calculate the area under VT, sorry, area under AT graph, it will give delta V or change in velocity or the velocity itself. But if we calculate the area under VT graph, that gives the displacement. Okay, so these are the points that we have to keep in mind. So acceleration time graphs gives velocity by taking area with time axis. So with the time axis, if we consider the area, then what is that area? That will give us the acceleration. So student, these are the things that we have to keep in mind. Now, how to keep all these things in mind? I'm going to tell you a very simple tip. So a student, you must think that wherever we have a distance or displacement, so we may take the displacement, or rather even distance can also be taken. So from this distance we can calculate this speed, and from the displacement we can calculate the velocity. And if the velocity is changing, then we can calculate the acceleration. Even this speed is changing, that also gives the same thing. A student, so how this change is calculated? Change is calculated means from displacement to velocity. If I have to calculate, then I have to calculate the slope. Means slope of the displacement time graph will give us the velocity. Means if you are moving in this direction, you have to take the slope of this displacement time graph. Means all this variation is always with respect to time. So if you are taking the displacement time graph slope, you will get this velocity. Okay, student? Now, if you are going to take the slope of this velocity time graph, this slope, then you will get this acceleration. Okay, student? So this is what you have to keep in mind. The reverse is that in place of slope from the acceleration, you can calculate velocity by taking which quantity? Area. And area under velocity time graph will give us the displacement. The point is very simple. If you have acceleration time graph, then you have to take the area, you will reach to velocity. If you have velocity time graph, taking the area, you will reach to displacement.
Displacement.
In place of velocity, if there is a speed, that doesn't matter. It will give us the distance. The same also hold good for the distance, speed, and acceleration. But moving from forward direction, I mean displacement time, taking the slope. Slope taking means taking the ratios. You will get velocity. Taking the ratios of vertical to horizontal of velocity time graph, you will get the acceleration. The same thing is this. It is your slope. It is your slope. But if I'm going to take this area, then I am able to return back. Now the question is whether from the acceleration we are getting the velocity or speed. It depends on how you are going to adding the different area under acceleration time graph. It is added algebraically, means only without any sign, it will give us speed, but along with the sign, because area or area under acceleration time graph may be positive or negative in some case, then it will give us the velocity. These things you will learn in higher standard. Okay, student. So this is how you have to keep in mind. So a student, you have to keep in mind if the graph is given. So from this graph, you can either calculate slope or area. These two things you can calculate. Now you have to keep in mind slope. For the slope is calculated for xt to get xt, we can get the velocity. For vt to get what? Vt slope gives us acceleration. So this to keep in mind. Okay, student. Now coming to the area. Area is always calculated for vt, not for xt, because multiplying distance with time, it will not give us any significant quantity or any useful quantity. So it is for vt to get what? Displacement. And it is for at to get what? From at means multiplying acceleration with time, we can get the v. So these are the only four things that you have to keep in mind. From the graph, either we have to calculate the slope, means the first is this one or the second is this one. Now the slope of two kind of graph is possible. For xt it is possible, and for vt it is possible. And if we consider the area, then area for vt it is possible, or for xt it is possible. Okay, students, so these things you have to keep in mind. So students, let me mark properly. And similarly for this area, we have the two things. One is this one, another one is like this one. So these things you have to, student, keep in mind. So if you have understood this small, tips or representation, then you can easily predict. You will never make any mistake. Student, now we are going to learn about kinetic equation. Okay, means to predict S equals to ut plus half ATA square. Student, you have written this. It is very important. At the last moment, if you just read this point and if you understood how to calculate, everything is summarized what we were discussing from last 2 or 3 days. So now we are going to kinetic equation. Sometimes it is also written as kinematic equation. Mean the same thing. It is just foreign language. It makes difference whether kinetic or kinematic is written. A student, the term kinetic itself indicates something in motion. Means a body in motion. When the body in motion, then to analyze that motion, whatever the formulae or equation we are using, that is called the kinetic equation. So analysis, a body is in motion, then its Analysis. Analysis means calculating the other variable or other quantity when few of the quantities are known. So analyzed by kinetic equation. So it is 3 in number. For uniform acceleration. Means a student, whatever this equation that we are going to write, it is for uniform accelerated motion only. Means acceleration is always constant. Even zero is also possible. Negative is also possible, but it should not be varying. Means during the first 2 seconds, if it is 10 meter per second, then in next 2 seconds it should not be 4 meter per second. It should remain 10 meter per second. Per second is square basically. So it is for the uniform acceleration, that thing, and the number are 3. Means what? Let a body is moving with uniform acceleration A. A student, what is this A? A is our acceleration. How it is calculated? Change in velocity by change in time. What is this velocity? Velocity is change in position by change in time. Means the displacement by time. So these things, whatever we have learned earlier, the same thing we are going to correlate in the equation form. So we are considering a body is moving with uniform acceleration A. Means A is fixed. That is, A is fixed and constant for particular kind of motion. Example, A may be your 5 meter per second square, A may be your 0, A may be your -2 meter per second square. It can have any of these values. All are constant. A student, such a motion we are considering means what? We are considering for an object. So it is possible that the object may have started from rest. In that case, the initial velocity is 0. But I am considering an object having some initial velocity u. Means we have started observation of an object which is already in motion. Means it already have some initial speed. So this was at 0 time, and at t time, means after an interval of t, means whatever the time 0 to t we are taking, it is this interval here to here. This delta t value is our t. It simply means the speed have changed to v. Okay, students, it is this one. Now while moving, here we are observing the speed is increasing. This increase in speed or the velocity, so this increase is at uniform. Means this change is not non-uniform. Say in the first 2 seconds, whatever the change in speed, the same will be for next 2 seconds, the same will be for next 2 seconds, so on. So while moving from here to here, the body have uniform acceleration A. So this acceleration is our uniform. A student, so how to write this? So let a body is moving with initial speed u with constant acceleration A, then in time t the body attained the speed v. So this situation I am writing like this: let a body moving with initial velocity u and with constant acceleration. Constant or uniform mean the same thing. A. This is the other quantity. This u was one of the quantity. So this A. And this motion continues for time interval t, where its final velocity become v. So this is the v. And in this process, while the object is traveling or moving, it will cover certain displacement. So that displacement is denoted by s. So where its final velocity become v and displacement covered is s. Then these are the quantities: displacement s, final velocity v, the time taken t, the acceleration with which the body is moving is a, the initial velocity is u. These are the quantities. Then these quantities are related to each other by three equations. So what these three equations? Then they are related by, what are the equation? The very first equation is, it gives the relation between initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration and time. It is v is equals to u plus at. So what is this? It is relation between initial velocity, u, final velocity, this final velocity denoted by v, the body is moving with acceleration, so acceleration a, and the time for which the body is moving is t. So observe carefully, it is correlating only these four quantity: u, v, a and t. Okay student, so this is the first relation that you have to keep in mind. The second relation that relates the displacement with initial velocity, acceleration and time, that do not give idea about the final velocity. So right here, if you wish, it do not relates displacement s. This is very important, student. Your question will be framed from this topic, basically the numerical, so that you have to understand. The second equation is s is given by u. This u you have to multiply with t, then you have to add this half, then acceleration you have to multiply it with the time square. This is the second relation. So what it relates? Which one? Displacement. This displacement was not related or not given by the first relation, v is equals to u plus at. It is given by the second relation, s equals to ut plus half at square. So it is the displacement s, initial speed or initial velocity, rather velocity, u acceleration a, and time t. Student, you have to keep all these things in mind. All these are the vector quantity. So we are relating these vector quantities. So these are the vector equations. The third one is relating your final velocity with initial velocity, their acceleration and displacement. Means it do not relate the time. So that is given by v square is equals to u square plus twice of a into the displacement s. So it is the third one. A student, in bracket you may write here the second is not relating. Which quantity is left here? V. Means final velocity v is left in the second. In the third one, the final velocity v is related. So it relates final velocity v, u is our initial velocity, u, a is our acceleration a, and displacement s. A student, you have to keep in mind it do not relates which quantity?
Okay.
Very good. It do not relates time t. So depending on what are given values in our numerical, we have to choose one of these three equations. A student, you have to keep in mind where what are the denotation. You have to continue to write where what the symbol means. The symbol v means our final velocity. The symbol u means our initial velocity. Means what is our initial velocity? When the observation starts at that time, what is the velocity? What is our final velocity? After time t, what is the velocity? A is the acceleration, t is the time interval, means how long the observation is done. So in this time interval, all these quantities are considered. Other the displacement s, it gives the displacement. So these were the quantities. Okay, student. So we have to keep in mind above equations. What are the equations? स्टूडेंट आपको याद हुए या फिर से याद कराना है? स्टूडेंट सबसे पहले देखिए बहुत सिंपल है, v is given by u plus at. It is nothing but
v is equal to u plus 8.
Yes. So it is definition of acceleration that we will drive also. The second is s is given by ut plus half at square. Yes. The third one is v square is equals to u square plus 2as. Student, these are the three equations that you have to keep in mind. You shall never forget this. And all these are for this constant acceleration a. There is another one, the average speed or average velocity in this case is given by u plus v by 2. This is the fourth one, but it do not have much significance. It is just asked, or just you have to keep in mind. How is that? That we will also see later. So above equation means while I am writing above equation, these are the three equations that you have to recall. So above equations are relating vector quantities. So vector quantities, what does it mean? It have both magnitude and direction. It can be positive, it can be negative. Therefore, since it is relating the vector quantity, therefore these are vector equations. And the vector quantity may be positive or may be negative. So since vector quantities may be positive or negative or zero, so the value have to be put with proper sign. So the values have to be substituted with proper sign. What is this proper sign? That we will learn. Means if it is negative or positive or zero, that is always given with reference to the direction we are taking. So right, reference direction decides the positive or negative value of a quantity, of a vector quantity. Positive or negative value or negative sign basically of a vector quantity. This is very important. How is this? That we will learn later. Say, if I am saying the body is moving in this direction. Okay, student? So initially I am choosing this direction as the positive direction. So whatever the quantity in this direction, that will be positive. Means if this body starts from A and it have reached to B, then if I am considering this was the displacement delta x, it will be positive. But a student, if this object is going to move to point C, so C means object have reached behind this A. In this case, from this point A, this is in this direction. So when it is in reverse direction, the value will be what? Negative. So in this case, delta x will be our negative. So it is like our number line where the starting point taken as origin or taken as zero value, rightward as the positive value, leftward as negative value. Okay, student? So this I have taken for the displacement. Similarly, you can also understand that even the u or the v is in this direction, it will be positive. If the speed in few cases will be opposite to this, then this v will be your negative. It is also possible. The next thing is, it is also possible to have acceleration in the same direction or in the opposite direction. So acceleration can also be taken as positive or negative. Student, this thing we will learn in more detail when positive, when negative, while we choose the sign for our each symbol while we will solving the numericals. So those things we will learn. My pen is not able to write. What is the problem with this? Still it is not able to write. I have to write very few things. Then even we have to stop the class. A student. So velocity may also be positive or negative, anything. Similarly, the acceleration, if the acceleration is in this direction, it is positive. If the acceleration is in this direction, acceleration is our negative. Okay, student? So this is the other possibility. So therefore, this vector quantity can be positive or can be negative. So this is for the velocity, this is for the acceleration. And here I have substituted for the position or displacement. So when positive, when negative, if it is in the direction of motion or the direction which we have taken as the positive direction, in that direction, that quantity is taken as positive. If opposite, then it is taken as negative. A student, we will learn when it is positive, when it is negative. So accordingly, the kinetic equation also gets modified. If it is 0, means A value is 0, then in this we can substitute this 0 also. Similarly, for the vertical motion, if we have the vertical motion, so a student, vertical linear motion, if we are considering an object which is falling from certain height, so this is the building. From this building, at certain height, this object is going to fall. So it is possible that it is pushed downward with certain speed. While it is reaching, it will attain some velocity. From reaching here to here, this was the 0 time and it have reached in t time. Okay. And what is this height covered? This is the height covered. This is also denoted as h, means height of this building. If we denote this by h, then s is like our h, means this is displacement is like our s. In this case, there is inherent quantity called acceleration due to gravity. The acceleration is because of the earth pull, and it is always a fixed value, that is 10 meter per second square. It is approximate value. Exactly, it is your 9.8 meter per second square. So it is this one. So it is always downward. So if it is downward, it is always positive. But if we take an object which is thrown upward, so in this case, u will be taken as positive considering the direction. But since A is always acting downward, so A is taken negative. The height h we are measuring in upward direction, so it is taken as positive. We are throwing with some speed, therefore we have taken this as u. While reaching at the top, the velocity may become 0 or may have any some other value in between the journey. That will also be positive. So these are the things that we will learn tomorrow. So how to apply this kinetic equation, the three kinetic equation, and what are their symbols, and how to take the reference direction. So these things we will learn tomorrow. A student, any doubt in this, then please ask. Otherwise, I have to stop the class. I have to go for class 10.
Sir, Lakshana has posted out in chat box.